If you've ever wanted to use your creativity to spread joy, then this is the video for you.
A photo of you.
In this video, I'm going to show you how I take this camera and turn it into essentially a Polaroid. But before I get into that, I kind of want to share how this all came about. One of the greatest joys that I had as a professional photographer was sharing my work with my clients. I absolutely loved that at the end of the shoot, I was able to send them over the JPEGs. I knew that it was bringing them so much joy to relive their wedding moments or moments together as a family or as a couple. When I stepped down from being a professional photographer, I really lost that joy of getting to share photos with people. And while I feel like I've reclaimed a lot of my creative expression with bringing photos into a gallery, I no longer am able to take pictures of people and get to see their faces when they see the photographs. And honestly, I really miss that. So I got this idea in my head that I would start taking photographs of people and then printing them. And I got this little camera. It's Fujifilm's Instax Mini Evo. And while it is absolutely adorable and it is truly so fun to use, what I found was that the quality of the images that I was taking was not matching what I felt I was used to taking with my camera. I'm used to this camera, and this is the Fuji XS20, and this is an absolutely phenomenal camera. If you have any of the more recent Fuji X-line cameras, whether it's the X100VI that just came out, if you can get a copy of that, these are incredible. They have really neat film simulations, so you're like shooting kind of in an old style like film, but really high quality, really beautiful. And I thought maybe since this was a Fuji, Evo is a hybrid camera and printer, that I would be able to directly send my photographs from my Fuji camera directly to the printer portion of this. And that just didn't end up being the case. There were no known solutions that I could find online to use this as a printer for my camera. I scoured the internet and I did find just a little bit of information of how to print directly from your camera. So this is actually not a printer that you can buy in any of the stores. It's a printer that they made 9 years ago. So I ended up going on Amazon and I found one of these used, but honestly, when it arrived, I really wasn't sure if it was going to work. And I'm going to show you how this all played out. First of all, just taking a look at it, it does come with a charging cord. However, I couldn't figure out where the charging port was, which honestly was my complete error. But I took a look and I was trying to figure out how you would take this plug and put it in, and it didn't really look like it would accept a cord. So I looked at the plug. I thought maybe they had sent me the wrong one, and then I realized this is literally just for your fingernail so that you can open it easily that way, so that it's underneath this tab. But it took me way too long to figure that out. So the next thing I did was take the information from the printer and put it into the camera. Under your menu settings, you should be able to find Instax, and then you look at the bottom of the printer and you'll find a code there and you put that directly in. The password is always 1111. I ended up finding that on, I think in like maybe a Reddit somewhere. Once I literally got the green light, and everything was connected, I put the Instax, the paper cartridge in, and this part is like really easy. You just pop this open, you put the cartridge directly inside, you match yellow to yellow. It's super simple. However, I had forgotten that the first photo that comes out is just completely blank. I thought maybe there was a big error and the copy that I got of this printer wasn't going to work. But once I realized that that's how this works, you pick out the photo that you want and you go to the menu from play. You go to the menu from play, scroll down to Instax, hit OK. And so you can see right now, like, it's connecting, and you hit OK on the photo that you want, and it's doing something. Takes about 90 seconds to develop, just like the Instax Mini Evo camera, same thing. So super simple. At this point, once I got this all set, I was just so excited to take this out. Like, I just wanted to go take pictures of my camera and give them to everybody that I possibly can. However, it was a very, very rainy day, and there's not many people out in the morning in Grapevine. There's even less people when it's raining. So I headed to my coffee shop so I could try to take a few photos there. I think the thing that I was searching for to photograph was people who loved each other. And while I think people find love in coffee shops, what I saw a lot of was people working on certain things. But there was this family in the corner. It was an adult daughter with what looked like her mom and her dad, and it honestly reminded me of when I would sit at the coffee shop with my own parents before my dad died, and we would just sit for hours and hours talking. And I just thought this was going to be a sweet moment that maybe they'd want to take with them. I picked out the photo that I want. I went to the back of my camera. I printed it straight to this printer. I waited the 90 seconds for the photo to develop, and then I walked over to the family, and I was not prepared for their reaction.
I took a photo of you and
Of course. I have good memories of sitting with my parents. I was nervous about this, but I could not have given this photo to a more joy-filled family. This was such a fun exercise of taking myself out of my comfort zone and getting to give joy to other people. I took a few more photos to give to the coffee shop patrons before I had to leave to pick up my kids. All in all, this is a really fun way to share the prints that you take as you take them. I would love to hear in the comments how you'd use something like this. Would you share your photos with strangers or with friends?
And then it takes about 90 seconds.
Thanks for joining me today, and keep spreading photography joy with those around you.